Hi everyone, so my name is Ryan, and today I will be showing you guys a way to process and organize in bulk Google Drive content. Pretty much what I've found out, this is mainly for businesses, of course, but this can apply to anyone that uses their Google Drive for pretty much everything. Um, in this example, it's going to be for a business that stores all documents for the business within the Google Drive, which then it then is organized into individual folders, which those folders are then shared with people for the Google Drive search function. And so what that search function does is you can search up pretty much anything that's on the document or the name itself, and that is how you can find it. So the first thing that you'll need in place is a naming convention. This makes it way easier. In this case, our company has a naming convention to where everything is named a certain way when we save it to the drive. Now, this is the Google Drive for the company. As you can see, everything is just randomly thrown in there. And there's over 17,000 files here that are just sitting there unorganized. So you need to have a naming convention of some sort. So this has been proactively done over the last year. So this example is not going to have a lot of files for me to move, but when I first did it, I had over 16,000 files to move into folders when I first did it, and it's a very effective way. Now, the effective way to do it, besides a naming convention, is to have the backup and sync for Google downloaded onto a computer. It's really hard to do it within the Google Drive webpage, on the left side, just because it's not. It searches through all the folders and not an individual folder. It likes to go through subfolders and subfolders and continue on. But what you're doing in this case is you're trying to take something from the main parent folder and not read the subfolders, which is what we'll do with the downloaded version of the Google Drive backup and sync. Because what we're going to do is we're going to open up two Google Drive pages next to each other to drag and drop. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the folder we want to put it into. In this case, we wanted to put into the folder called MC Documentations. We want to put all the files into here is how we organize it. In this case, we'll start off with agreements. And what we'll do is we will then go to our main Google Drive folder. You can see at the directory at the top, it's Google Drive MC Documentations. This one's just Google Drive. And we're going to click on the search box. And then what you're going to do is you're going to type in name semicolon. Then you're going to do COI. And you can look that up. It's going to pull up all of these files that have COI in them. But under the search function, you can also change this from all subfolders to just current subfolder. And what this does is it only changes it to the Google Drive folder that it's in itself. And I'm pretty sure I didn't do it right because it's pulling up more files than I know it needs to be. So you do name, COI, you're doing current. There you go. So as you can see, I double clicked it and I kind of redid it. So you do current folder and you do the name semicolon COI, which is the naming convention that we use. We're looking for agreement because we're doing agreement first. So you look up name agreement and you pull up all these files that are currently in this folder, because everything else is hidden because it would be in the MC Documentations or it would be in shipper agreements. So you have all these folders here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight the ones we want. We're going to skip those, and all these we want to drag. So we'll do Control Shift Click, you're going to do Control Click that one, Control Shift that to skip over, and then you just simply drag, move it to the designated folder, and sometimes it'll pop up like this. In our case, we just replace it because we may have gotten two copies of it, and we're just going to combine it into one. This cleans up your general one. You see them all populating on the left over there. And then eventually, when everything syncs over, which in this case you'll see it's syncing 22 out of 36 files right now, that little pop-up, you can go to your web browser And when you go to the web browser, you'll be able to see activity. And when you do activity, you're going to be able to see that files were recently moved. As you can see, all these agreements were moved. So that is how you can mass bulk files into a folder for organization and everything. If you have thousands of files that need to be moved. So we'll go ahead and do one more. We'll go ahead and do the next category, which is insurance. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the name of COI. And this is the most popular one because we get a lot of insurances in this case. We're going to skip those. And we'll get all the way down. I can do a quick skim to see if anything is something I don't want to move. Move that over. So that is going to be 103 items, and we're going to move it to MC Insurance. And then starts transferring all the files over. And we had 5 files with the same name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip these because insurance is very important in this case. We want to double check the 5 that were left over, which in this case these are nothing important. So we're going to move them over. Oh, computer's thinking. I'm going to replace the files. That's just another way I do of just validation. I want to see what the files were, and then I just want to be like, okay, it's nothing important, we can just replace it. So, yeah, that is all you have to do, and that is pretty much all you have to do for moving over all the files, using the backup and sync to mass organize your Google Drive, because then it syncs everything up to the Google Drive that you did. So, geez, I have too many screens. I went on the wrong screen. So as you can see, it's syncing 86 of 108. So it's pretty quick depending on your hardware and your internet connection. In this case, my internet provider is through Google, so it's pretty quick and everything just syncs up real quick, especially if you have a brand new hardware like I do. So and it syncs up pretty instantaneous with your browser, because if you look here, you can see that I moved all these as well. I moved all these items to trash and then replaced them with the new ones, and I moved 97 items into the insurance folder. So it's pretty instantaneous for you to view everything. So that is how you do it, and hopefully this helps you. It took me months to figure this out because I was doing it by hand, by dragging and dropping. This is way easier. You just gotta use these search functions of name, type. You can do types. You can do COI, and you can do type as like a PDF. Pulls up PDFs. If you do PNGs, it'll pull up PNGs. In this case, I know PNGs there, so it really helps you to organize it. Or if you have 2 file types, you can organize it that way as well. So hopefully that helps you guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.